This is the problem, but you know, Matt's gonna fix it, so RAR Garage.
That's the plan.
Somebody order a pipe. Well, you said you had a lot of water that need to go through a culvert pipe so your road would be washing out.
Oh my gosh.
Is that adequate?
That's a pretty good size. It's gonna go down there. You know where we dug that pond?
Yeah.
Out there.
Okay, so down the trail. I think I can just back beside the building. I'll just roll it off.
Yeah, we might just like carry it down there with the Mini X or something.
When you said carry it down there, I was like, I'm not feeling picking that up.
What do you think this thing weighs? Like,
I would say it's probably 350, 400 pounds.
Oh, okay.
It's not insane. This is double wall pipe.
Okay.
Double wall pipe. So there's two different types. There's single wall and double wall. Single wall, you'll be able to see the corrugations in there.
Yeah, okay.
Which is also makes it flexible.
Yeah.
It has an inner liner right there, which gives it the strength.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for it. It's really not that heavy.
You have to go a little higher to really feel it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna roll it off.
We're just gonna roll it off and let it bounce.
Roll it off.
I got it.
All right, so now that Chris has delivered our new pipe for our culvert crossing, there's another step I need to do. These two trees are right in the way of where we're gonna move the road to. So let me kind of explain. The road is too close to the pond that we made. It's kind of a mistake. So we're gonna move this little gravel road over just enough to give us room from the pond so that when people bring big trucks through here and things, they're not as likely to fall into the pond. A lot of you probably saw how deep that pond is. We're over here at the big excavator. Battery's off only because I was the last one to drive this thing. Carter never remembers to turn the batteries off. Hop in the cab and fire it up. All right, well, we've got a bit of a road trip to get this thing over there, but let's get started. All right, so we made it out here to the creek crossing. I'm gonna try and knock over these two trees. There it goes. And down it comes. Wow, that wasn't so bad. Let's see if we can get the other one.
A few years ago, what is that? At the time, I didn't really understand why or what happened, but it's... Whoa, okay, there is something crazy going on down there.
Easy. And then we just have this one tiny one. I have a feeling this won't be much of a problem. Scoop it up. This thing is an absolute monster when it comes to taking out trees. Let's go take a look at the damage. This is looking pretty good. We've got the two trees knocked down here with these huge root balls, and they fell into the woods kind of exactly where I wanted them to. That excavator is very powerful. The next things we need to do is we're gonna come out here and cut some of this up so I can drag these stumps and root balls out of here, probably into the field. All right, so we got our chainsaw out here. Now I'm just gonna cut up these trees just a little bit, at least enough that I can get these stumps and root balls out of the way. Well, I have this one disconnected, and this one's real close. I'm worried if I go too much further, it's gonna swing out and hit me. I think I'll hop back in the excavator, pull this one out of the way, and then see what I can do here. I think the excavator might be able to just bust that one loose. It's like a loose tooth, just gotta wiggle it enough and it'll come out. Ah! Holy cow. All right, come on now. This is when I really wish I had a thumb like the Mini X at 305, because then I could just pick this thing up, but I just kind of have to try and get a tooth under it so I can move it. That's enough out of the way for now. It's coming. That's incredible. I'm just gonna try and shove these deeper into the woods. Into the woods. Oh, so close. Yeah, there's this other tree. They got caught in the crossfire. Let's see if I can get under it. That worked really nicely. Well, this has gone very well. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the skid steer and the Mini X. I can use the skid steer to fill all this back in and grade it out. For now, we can put away the big excavator. We're going to need the mini excavator to pick up the pipe that Chris dropped off for us. But the battery's dead, which kind of seems to be a regular occurrence here. You need the key to open this. Very secure battery. And there it is. Wow, it's actually gonna be really easy to change. Let me grab my tools. Let's see here. I just need to disconnect these two terminals, and then this tie down, and we should be good to go. This one's a lot easier than the big one. You guys know the drill. You always start with ground first. I probably said that 100 times. You guys have all seen me change probably like 15 batteries over the course of the past couple of months. And then we go to the positive. It's metric. Everything else is standard, and this is metric. It's just how it goes sometimes for whatever reason. Okay, it should be free. Got this nice handle on it. All right, I'm gonna go to the battery store and I'll be right back. All right, we've got our new battery ready to go. Pretty easy. Cap off. Ground goes on the right. There we go. We just have to tighten down the orc nuts. Reverse of how we did it before. Positive first. And then our ground comes on. Just tighten the ground connection on. Nice and tight. Put the cover over it. Turn the battery on. Close it up and see if it starts. All right, we're good to go. Let's get to work. Now we just have to get it out to our culvert crossing. I'm gonna try and like tie it up with this tow strap, see if that'll work. We'll figure something out. All right, now that the pipe is here, we can measure our culvert and make sure it's ready for the pipe. I've extended the culvert a little bit further away from the pond to make room for the long pipe. So the next thing we're gonna do is roll the pipe into position. I'll bury it with all the dirt that buried the old pipes, which is this nice clay. Then I can continue grading out the new path for the road. And just like that, the pipe is buried. I used some clay that I had in a pile right here that I dug the old pipe out with, and that's really dry, so I put that down to actually hold the pipe in place. You can see we moved it like that much from there to there. And we've got these kind of weird bumps. I'm gonna try and smooth them out, make this look a little nicer using the 305. I think we just have to take some time and let some of this dirt dry out a bit. It's soft enough that it's a little hard to handle. Carter decided he wants to be the first one to drive across.
This is inaugural. If I've learned anything from the snowmobile, faster is better.
Oh yeah, it's always better.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was a weird sound.
Did you hear that? I think I just broke something.
All right, after Carter drove this thing in the mud across the new dirt bridge, this thing's been making a weird like clicking noise, and I have a feeling that he broke one of the CV axles. So we're gonna lift it up, take a look. The issue is fairly obvious here. I mean, this boot here is torn. There's a bit of play in the joint. Kind of hard to show, but it's enough that would probably cause the clicking that we're hearing. The boot here is torn too, so I bet you this one is gonna go out soon too, but I think I hear the clicking on this side. So we're gonna try and see if we can get a replacement. All right, so this car is a 1995 Suzuki Wagon R, and it's a K car that was only sold in Japan and some parts of Europe. Was never sold here in the United States. It's kind of tricky to get parts for them. You can't go to this local parts store and just pick up what you need for it. I found these for sale in Japan. They just arrived, and we're gonna find out if they fit. I've had problems ordering parts from Japan in the past with them not fitting. Fingers crossed. Look at the two different lengths here. I have a bad feeling about this. Let's start with this one. This looks right. Let's see if the one in this box is really this long. It's not quite that long, but it is longer. Could end up being a problem. Yeah, would you look at that? This one is much shorter and this one's much longer. Let's pull the one out of the car and see if it matches up to either of these. So right now I'm basically trying to disconnect the ball joint up in here so I can lower this control arm out and slide the axle out because I'll be able to pull the hub away from the car. Now I can pull this away. I should be able to press the axle out of its hub here, like that. I've already released it up here, so it just pops out. All right, moment of truth. It looks like a perfect match. We might be in business here. There's some very slight differences, like it doesn't have this, which I'm not entirely sure the purpose of this. Maybe something to do with reducing vibrations. The real test is gonna be if these splines line up. Let's go try and put it in. All right, we're gonna start with this end here. Into here. That's perfect. And now it just needs to go into there, which is acting a little weird. Pull this out again. Okay. Not going into the transmission end. Oh, there it goes. Oh, perfect. This end goes back in here. This is incredible. It fits. That's awesome. Now just bolt everything back together and then we'll do the other side. All right, the driver's side is all good to go, or should I say passenger side, since this thing's right-hand drive. I'm gonna take apart the other side, pull the old axle out, and line it up with the other new one, make sure it fits. So here's the axle on the other side. This is where we might run into some problems. It looks like the axle I took out is longer. This one has really sloppy joints on it, whereas this is much tighter. So if I squish this one in, it seems like they're the same length. They have the same stubs on each end. So we're gonna try and bolt it in. If this end just keeps popping out, then we'll know it's a little too short, but it's my best bet right now. I don't think this one's clicking yet, but with this torn boot, it will soon. But if this one doesn't work and this one's not worn out and clicking yet, I could just change the boot out and put fresh grease in it. That's always an option. Let's go put this one in. The new axles are in. Time to go take it for a test drive. See what Carter thinks. This is one of Carter's favorite cars. He was worried we'd never be able to fix it because getting parts for some of these is so difficult. If this is fixed, he is going to be so excited. Ordinarily, it'll be making a bunch of clicking noises. It sounds totally fine. It was funny because when I ordered the parts online, it all said they fit different cars, but one thing was for certain, it said it did not fit this car. So I was a little hesitant. The car that it said it fit had the same engine, the same transmission, and it was kind of the same size car. So I figured, you know, there's a pretty good chance that these will fit, and it looks like I was right. Well, let's go show Carter.
Let's see how this goes.
Coming pretty good.
Okay, yeah, driving straight was always fine, but we gotta try a sharp turn. All right, here's a big clatter because I'm gonna turn it really sharp with
Hit it hard.
with throttle. Oh, what's that? Is it clattering? No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine if you put
Yeah, it just starts clattering immediately. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
It feels tight. The turning feels really it feels like a new car kind of.
Yeah, it's all fixed.
Wow. And the idle's better? The AC's working?
Yeah, I fixed everything.
Wow, those axles really did change a lot.
Yeah,
This
they
is
really
awesome.
do.
I never thought I'd see the day. Getting parts to this old Japanese thing is a nightmare, but we hopefully will be good to rock and roll in this thing a little bit longer.
Well, since the road ruined the wagon, we're back out here to do just a little more grading work so we can start using this as a road again. We're bringing the school bus out for our final test. Oh, that's awesome. I think this road is officially ready.